For the third and final time this year, Phoenix Rising FC and Orange County SC will square off as the number 2 and 3 teams in the Western Conference table come crashing down into the Valley of the Sun for what should be a more than entertaining 90 minutes here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrens along with none other, the incomparable ex-German pro Devin Kerr, and we'll take a look at the standings at the moment. Both Phoenix and Orange County trying to chase Real Monarchs for that top spot in the Western Conference standings, and right now the Monarchs are in a dogfight with OKC Energy FC. It's currently 2-2 after a Jack Blake screamer from 35 yards out. Phoenix have a game in hand and are looking to make good on that game.
A lot of movement that's going to take place in the Western Conference over the next week or so, but we're starting right now with Orange County Soccer Club and Phoenix Rising FC. Phoenix, just a few short games ago, we were thinking that they hit the doldrums, that they had hit their low in their season. Not the case. They've turned it around. They go out, put up 4 versus T2, and are back on track, but they have to get the job done tonight versus Orange County. We're approaching the final third of the season. Now is the time to kick it into high gear and take them down.
And somebody who's been kicking it into high gear for Orange County SC, a recent signing no less than a month ago, and the big names of Thomasina Voltson and Michael Seaton up top have really enjoyed Darwin Jones coming onto the scene because it's taken the pressure off of them.
You'd expect to hear also Christian Duke and Aiden Quinn in the midfield pulling the strings, but Darwin Jones, former Seattle homegrown, has come in and really been a spark to this squad. You see the 2 goals, that's only in 3 appearances. Had a lackluster season last year with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but it provides a lot of explosiveness on the right side of the pitch, a lot of speed, and that's what they're going to need if Orange County is going to have success tonight. On the other side of the ball, who else? Number 9, maybe the best 9 in the game at this point in time in the USL, not just the Western Conference, but Chris Cortez has been able to get it done in every way, shape, and form. We've seen him do it in the air, by land, and by sea, every single direction for the big guy. It's been fun to watch him do his dirty work, down in the doldrums, in the nitty-gritty, you name it, guy gets it done.
His last performance against T2 earned him a spot on the USL Team of the Week. Chris Cortez in the running for the USL Golden Boot, and Phoenix Rising FC right now are in a run for the number 1 spot in the Western Conference standings. Standing in their way is Orange County SC, 2 teams deadlocked at 41 points. Phoenix with a game in hand for the 3rd and final time this season. It's Phoenix and OC, and it's coming your way next.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
The 2018 Phoenix Rising FC season is in high gear. This Phoenix team is must-see TV!
And now, with an international roster that's bigger, stronger, and faster than ever, Didier Drogba and his teammates are on a mission to capture their first USL Cup.
Watch Phoenix Rising on the road against Las Vegas Lights FC Saturday, August 18th at 8 p.m. live on Your View, Arizona. Phoenix Rising FC, rising as one.
At Showcase Honda, we want to show you the best. Let us show you our massive inventory of new Hondas, like the 2018 Honda Accord, 2018 North American Car of the Year, Honda Civic, or Honda CR-V. Or let us show you a certified pre-owned Honda, one of the best values on the road. And let us show you an unmatched sales and service experience. Only at Showcase Honda. Easy to find on Camelback Road just west of the 51. Online at showcasehonda.com. Get to the show today.
Last time Phoenix and Orange County squared off, it was Cody Wakasa getting sent off around the half-hour mark, but Phoenix holding on to the legendary Chris Cortez, Kevon Lambert connection. And these 2 teams currently sitting at the top of the Western Conference table, right behind the Real Monarchs. All business here in the Valley of the Sun. And we'll take a look at the starting 11 for Braden Cloutier's side, who has been electric as of late. Devin, more of the same from what we've seen. Thomasina Voltson tucking in right behind Michael Seaton.
Interestingly enough, Cloutier has actually brought Andre Rawls back in, and he's a phenomenal goalkeeper, but they've been using Casey Byers and Luis Lopez as of late. So the big number 12 steps back in between the pipes. Crognali, number 4 in the back. Rick Schantz telling us that he's actually a big fan of Crognali, and to keep an eye on him. He might have more of an impact than people give him credit for, as well as number 2, Kevin Alston. But look, on the other side of the ball for Phoenix Rising, it's going to be everybody going forward. What are they going to be capable of doing in transition? The defensive side of the ball has started to solidify itself once again. Now we want to see the entire squad explode the other direction once they go in transition.
This is the same exact starting 11 that they went with against T2, and in our conversation before the Portland game with Coach Schantz, he said anybody who was going to be in that lineup was more than deservedly so. Devin Vega, Alessandro Ricci, Colin Fernandez, and Devontae DeBose in that game against T2, all making their first start in more than 2 months. Colin Fernandez was more so due to injury. Devin Vega actually made his first start of the season. And just take a listen to what is going on right now at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. An electric atmosphere for one of the biggest games of the season. And well, Phoenix fans, if you haven't already heard, or USL fans for that matter, the King has returned to the Valley of the Sun. Didier Drogba, who is off working and doing a number of different things for the club, both on and off the field, has returned back. He's not exactly match fit yet, but talking to Rick Schantz, he just said he wishes that we could see, or anybody could see, what Mr. Didier Drogba can do after about a month and a half without touching a ball, coming on technically, and what he brings to the table.
Absolutely magical when he steps on the pitch at any point in time. But like you said, Tyler, I'd love to be able to travel the world and be out of shape like that. We know you would. But he looks great, and you know, the energy that he brings, the captaincy that he steps in with, and the veteran leadership, that's the biggest thing here. You have such a massive age range between the squad, and the likes of Devin Vega sitting at just 19 years of age, playing in the number 10 role in the middle of the field, trying to lead the squad going forward. And then you have other guys who are kind of middle of the park. Luigi Mala, Devontae DeBose sitting in that mid-20s. Chris Cortez up top approaching the 30 mark. So the ability for Didier Drogba to combine all of these guys and push them in a positive direction is such a difficult thing to do, but everybody has bought into what's going out here in Phoenix.
Well, Devin, let me pose the question to you. These two teams drew every single time they played last year. The first time that they missed this season was the first game of the year they drew. Alex Crognali with the game-tying goal in the 94th minute. The last time they played, it was Phoenix trying to make a statement. Is there a rivalry brewing between Phoenix and OCSC?
100%, especially since Braden Cloutier has stepped in and kind of pushed these guys to the top of the Western Conference. They had trouble closing games out last year. But for Phoenix Rising, it's an energy level aspect. It's what they were lacking in previous games when they went down to the Real Monarchs and when they went down to Fresno. Rick Schantz telling us he really lacked character, the squad lacked character, and energy and emotion in those games. If you take a look back versus the other 2 matchups versus Orange County this year, first game of this season that they played them, first 20 minutes, absolutely amazing. The last 70 were very quiet, and they allowed the home squad to get back in and get the 1-1 tie. When they went down to 10 men, there wasn't a put your head down type moment. Everybody banded together and they were able to squeak out a 1-0 victory. They need to carry that high energy level in order to have success.
Well, the last installment between these two sides, at least in the regular season, is officially underway. Number 2 and number 3 in the Western Conference standings. Tyler Terrence along with the incomparable Devin Kerr. So glad that you could join us for what surely is the juiciest fixture in this USL slate here in week number 22. Here's Alessandro Ricci, had an assist to Chris Cortez in the opening moments of the T2 game. Asante claims it for himself. Delivery sent across in the first corner of the night coming up, and it's in favor of the home side. Corner kicks, as always, brought to you by our friends over at Carvana. Colin Fernandez trotting over to take it. Alessandro Ricci also in the neighborhood, drawing out an extra defender from OC. Fernandez, good delivery. Kavan Lambert can't win it, called for the foul. And Devin, you and I were both extremely impressed with Kavan Lambert's performance over in Portland. I mean, he was just all over the field defensively. He was a nightmare for T2 to try to deal with.
Especially in the opening 45 minutes, because you saw T2 have the ability to go in transition like we'd like to see with Phoenix Rising tonight. but Phoenix would sit, and as they stepped back in transition, coming the other direction, Marvin Loria was eating up the right-hand side of the pitch. Some of that was a touch of disconnection between Dia and Alessandro Ricci, not on the same page because the two haven't played together a lot in open play in a full 90-minute game. But his ability to sit in that number 6 role very deep says that that's not necessarily his best role, but his ability to understand the attack coming the other direction and to stay composed and hold that space was one of the best performances on the defensive side of the ball we've seen the young guy have all season long.
Cortez gets a touch to it, trying to find Ricci out on this near right wing. Enevoldsen. Good through ball intended for Darwin Jones, but broken up by Amadou Dia. He had an excellent game against T2 as well defensively. Tried to deal with Marvin Loria, who's in terrific form. Came over on loan from Saprissa Loria. He actually had one of the nominees for goals of the week last week against Orange County, a magnificent individual run. And Coach Sean said that Marvin Loria put Amadou Dia on skates one time, and he just said Dia rolled up his sleeves and got down to business in terms of his 1v1 defending, and really was able to shut down number 44. It was one of the most electric players we've seen in the Western Conference this year.
Sometimes that as a defender, that's one of the best things for you, is to kind of be put in your place, especially early on in a game. Dia carries a lot of confidence on the ball and off the ball. He was moving forward very nicely, but on the defensive side of things, slipping a tad. Loria made a few moves on him, and then he slowly started to pull things back, but as the game progressed, you could see really Dia able to shut him down on a regular basis.
Waz, who had 2 penalty saves against T2. One of them would end up being knocked in off the rebound. But denying Foster Langsdorff twice as Chris Cortez is keeled over at the moment. And Solomon Asante immediately calling for medical attention for the big man. And this is the last thing you want to see. Rick Schantz already motioning over to his bench. Now the athletic trainer will have to make their way out onto the field. And Cortez holding that right arm, it looks like. Well, first 5 minutes of the match, your leading goal scorer and one of the few players in the United Soccer League vying for the Golden Boot at the moment, going down. Not exactly what Rick Schantz and company had in plan.
This is the moment that you can see Chris Cortez just not really much from it. Alex Cronali stepping up, comes over the back a touch, but you see he just keels over and isn't himself, reaching on the right side of his arm. Sometimes you can catch a stinger in a situation like that when someone comes over the back. Hopefully that's exactly what went on for Chris Cortez.
Hopefully the Mission Viejo, California native will be able to shake it off. Had the game-winning goal against Orange County the last 2 times that these teams met. And Asante will kindly play it back to Andre Rawls. Asante wins it back, finding Ricci on the opposite side. Heavy touch from the Canadian. Asante. Bandidos and Red Fury providing one of the best atmospheres in the USL, as always. Luigi Mala spraying it over for Devontae DeBose, product out of Virginia Tech University. Come on, Lambert. Switching the point of attack. Cut out by Darwin Jones. Noah Powder. And Hume wisely lets it roll back to Andre Rawls. And good pressure from Phoenix. Very much dominated the opening moments against Orange County. The last time they met here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, first matchup in the first game of the season, was over at Championship Stadium in Irvine. But then Cody Wakasa was sent off in the last match at around the 35-minute mark. And even despite getting sent off, Phoenix still seemed to have a pretty strong grasp on the game. Kevin Alston ended up hitting the crossbar at one point in time. But for the most part, even being down a man, Phoenix seemed to be in control.
If you would have turned the game on around the 50, 60 minute, you never would know that they were playing with 10 men, except for maybe the drop in graphics right at the top of the screen. But like we talked about, it was that energy level and their ability to carry it on through the match. Never put their head down, never second guessing themselves, causing disruption towards Orange County and their ability, and inability, I should say, to move forward. A lot of people were questioning the foul early on as to whether or not Michael Seaton went to ground intentionally, and Wakasa deserved the red card. He 100% got stuck in behind. They were very lucky that they were able to continue the push that they saw, because we've seen previous matches where 10 men or not, they've quieted things down, but that wasn't the case. The host squad was able to continue through and get a very valuable 3 points. Something that from a bragging rights standpoint you can look back upon, and mentally that'll take its toll on a squad like Orange County.
Here's Matt Spearman. One of the unsung heroes of this Orange County team in the eyes of Braden Cloutier in his first season with OCSC after taking over for Logan Paws, who was with them in 2017, as Christian Duke is just completely shut off by Colin Fernandez. Excellent defensive play as the Illinois native is still getting back into the swing of things.
Good look from Colin Fernandez and challenging Christian Duke, who's wearing that specialty mask after breaking his nose. Rick Sean's telling us that it wasn't the best performance he's seen out of Colin Fernandez in the past, but you have to be impressed with him coming on, no game reps whatsoever, stepping right into adversity and doing a good job handling it.
We have another player down for Phoenix. This time it's Alessandro Ricci. And again, the athletic trainer being waved on.
Alessandro Ricci getting tugged on right in the middle of the park by Aiden Quinn. Their big number 6 who likes to sit in that holding midfielder position, and right away Ricci asking for the support staff to come over as he clutches his knee and goes to ground.
Well, his left knee just completely buckled as he was trying to elude the defender. Well, there wasn't a whole lot in Chris Cortez's apparent injury just a few moments ago, but this seems a lot worse. And you can see Solomon Asante motioning over to the bench and whoever's going to come in, that they really need to get going, because it does not look like Ricci is going to be able to continue. And we're getting word that Jason Johnson is getting ready to come on. And Ricci, this is such a tough break because he's earned his starting spot in this squad over the past 2 games. And to go down with an injury like this, virtually non-contact, it's a harsh and cruel game sometimes. Ricci clearly in some agony. 2 goals and 5 assists on the season, including the opening assist to Chris Cortez from the corner kick over at Providence Park in Portland in their last game. Steve Upham, the athletic trainer, checking on Ricci. And the stretcher being brought out as well. This is bad news for the 24-year-old out of Montreal. Excuse me, that's Brennan Hodge treating Alessandro Ricci. Steve Upham, also one of the members on the technical staff for Phoenix Rising. And he is gingerly getting to his feet. And cannot even put any pressure on it. Chris Cortez making sure that his little shifty striker is all right. And Ricci brought to tears. Well, Devin, you had a career that was cut short by injury. I'm sure this is tough to watch.
As a player, you never know what the next step is right here, and all you are hoping for right now is that he has just twisted his knee and he's got some sort of tiny sprain that's caused him a lot of frustration to come out of this match in the opening 15 minutes. The biggest thing that Phoenix Rising need to do here is just respond appropriately, because it's not easy watching one of your brothers step off the field in a situation like this. Your mind starts to wander. You start to wonder, what ifs? Could that have been me? And all the negative thoughts can start running through your mind. The most important thing right now is the support that you're getting right there. Good look by JJ stepping over. We know that he's become such a vocal leader. Earlier this season, before the departure of Patrice Carteron, he gave him the captain's band and wanted him to wear that in the absence of Didier Drogba. Did such a good job, came into form. You and I were chatting off air, Tyler, that he's kind of fallen out of favor as of late with Rick Shuntz. You've seen him more of a supporting role, coming off the bench, if at all. So possibly a blessing in disguise for Jason Johnson. We wish the best to Alessandro Ricci, and hopefully that's just a tiny knock, but a great opportunity for the Jamaican to come back into the spotlight.
Well, JJ, who of course scored that all-world goal against Tulsa a little while back, onto the scene here in the 15th minute. The substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs, and as Devin mentioned, all the best and hopefully a speedy recovery to Alessandro Ricci. His teammate Solomon Asante trying to pick him up, but Andre Rawls scoops it up. Pressure from Vega. Rick Shuntz was extremely pleased with his defensive effort against T2 last week. Bierman bringing it down for Aiden Quinn. And that Ricci injury certainly put a damper on the tempo of this match, which seemed to be at a good place before Ricci went down. Quinn and Vega up for it. It's Quinn who claims it. Now it's Darwin Jones. Had the brace in their win against Swope Park, bending in a teasing ball, and Luigi Mala with an acrobatic clearance, to say the least. Sent back in again, and it's Mala to clear it again. And Orange County with another throw-in. Michael Seaton linking up with Ina Voltson, broken up by Colin Fernandez. Now it's Phoenix on the move. Devin Vega leading the charge. Jason Johnson getting his first touch since coming on. Vega. Ball glued to his foot. Fernandez switches it over for Devontae DeBose. Patient here from Phoenix. DeBose's ball is a good one. Hume pops it straight up in the air. Good challenge from Vega. Johnson wanted a handball, and look at Solomon Asante going with it back. Tied up with Mats Bierman. And Phoenix not allowing Orange County to play out of the back that simply. Devin Vega organizing, trying to pin them in once more. Michael Seaton trying to fend off Mike DeFont. And it's going to be a foul against the lone from the Colorado Rapids. And our head referee, Malik Badawai. not allowing Orange County to play that quickly or from the spot where the ball was played.
It's Bierman trying to pull a fast one over, but Kevon Lambert right away letting our referee know that that ball was about 15 yards behind where it was being played from in the center of the field.
Here's Alex Cronali. He was responsible for the equalizer in the first game of the year between these two sides. Solomon Asante had the goal for Phoenix. DeFont. A little bit too hot to handle for Colin Fernandez. Ina Voltson trying to get on his way, but Devontae DeBose, very well done. Noah Powder cuts it out. Bierman helps it along. Well, after the Ricci injury, it's very much become a battle in the middle third of the park. And Devin, I pose the question to you, how difficult is it for Jason Johnson to step into the situation, because he sits down after warmups thinking that he's probably not coming on until after halftime?
He's definitely going to be frazzled, especially because once you go through the pregame warmups, you start to get comfortable and you really aren't put through the progressions until the 30-minute mark or so. Sometimes your coach will have all the boys get up and start to get warm towards the end of the first half. Maybe he'll make a late substitution or definitely a change at halftime. And then those progressions continue through to the second half. So coming on somewhat cold is always frustrating. Mentally, you've relaxed as well. So to get acclimated to the game environment is quite difficult, but if anybody's capable of it, it's Jason Johnson.
Certainly is a spark plug for Phoenix. And as Devin mentioned before, become more and more of a local and vocal leader. Certainly a fan favorite here in the Valley of the Sun. Asante over the head of Johnson. Dia bringing it down. Poked away by Christian Duke. Dia couldn't quite come away with it. And now it's Darwin Jones off to the races. Jones with great pace. Almost trying to chip Carl Wazinski, but easy work in the end. Here's Cortez. Room to play. Cortez lets it fly. Well, we've seen that before from Mr. Cortez. And all Phoenix fans will think back to the OKC Energy FC goal that he lashed in.
Don't mind this whatsoever either, especially because Jason Johnson understands the threat that's coming the other direction, and he cuts across the middle of the field, which allows the space to open up and try and get a shot off. It's one of the things that we were quite critical of Phoenix Rising in the opening parts of this season, where they weren't really pulling the trigger from distance, really getting into tight-knit spaces down near the goal line and able to score a lot in that direction, but it's opened up. It's about the midway point. You see, you talked about the otherworldly goal from Jason Johnson, but we've seen some cracks from distance from Chris Cortez, Solomon Asante, even Colin Fernandez, who was really liked to get into those spaces before his injuries.
Here's Ina Voltson taking the space given to him. Now it's Noah Powder. Just one man in the box in the form of Michael Seaton, and Devontae DeBose with a great step. Good challenge from Powder. But DeBose has been impressive in the first 21 minutes. Bierman wins it back. Ina Voltson. Cut out by Asante. Really well done from the Ghanaian. Cortez thought he had Captain Solo running with him. Aiden Quinn. Finding Michael Seaton. Seaton lets it fly, but straight into the arms of Carl Wazinski. He was certainly hit with a bit of sting. Phoenix give it away again. Christian Duke sliding it through, looking for Ina Voltson. Seaton picks it up. Skips over Duiji Mala. Gets the return pass. And cleared away by Duiji Mala. Aiden Quinn thought about it. Wow, that's excellent footwork. Out wide for Powder. Good delivery in. Orange County with a ton of pressure at the moment. Alston. Good defensive posture from Jason Johnson. Around Kevin Alston. Johnson opening it up. Jason Johnson taking the space given to him. Still Jason Johnson. JJ saved by Andre Rolls. Solomon Asante letting it fly, blocked by Hume. Think JJ settled into the game yet?
We've talked about his ability to change games at a moment's notice. How many times have we seen him in one-on-one situations challenging every defender on the pitch? And that was a great display by Jason Johnson. Unfortunately, could not finish it off, but what a save by Andre Rolls.
Whipped in, Seaton almost got there. And we'll take a look first at that stinging shot saved by Carl Wazinski.
This is the two number 9s. Just trading blows. Chris Cortez had one just moments before, and Michael Seaton gonna challenge Waz from distance, and then here's JJ doing his little dance, making love to the ball right at the top of the 18, cutting back, and he gets one-on-one, and right here, he goes for the 5-hole on Andre Rolls, and he's not having any of it.
Waz sends it away. Header won by Powder. Here it's Bierman. It's been OCSC threatening for the majority of these opening 24 minutes or so. Jason Johnson by far with the best chance of the night so far. Jones. Bierman. Getting loose from Lambert. Devontae DeBose cuts it out. Only as far as Seaton. And a good step from Colin Fernandez. When they've been asked to, Phoenix have defended really well. Johnson asking a lot out of Chris Cortez. Hume turning away from trouble. And it'll go back to Andre Rolls, who has missed a number of games due to injury he received last time that Orange County were in the Valley of the Sun.
Orange County has had some solid results over that time frame, but you can really see they've missed him in between the pipes.
Here's Seaton. Now it's Darwin Jones again, our star player for OCSC to keep an eye on. Sends it across, and Wazinski had to get down in order to make the save.
Was feeling slighted in mid-season, not being considered for the mid-season goalkeeper of the year, but he wants to get right back into that conversation and possibly win the Golden Glove for the season. And why not when you're making saves like that?
Jones is certainly shifty. Signed right in the middle of July for OCSC. Aiden Quinn on the corner. Mala wins it, but heads it straight over the frame. And we'll do it one more time, just this time from the opposite side, as the Banditos and Red Fury are having themselves a party. What else is new?
Alex Cornali absolutely furious with Mike Badawi, our head referee. Felt like he was definitely on the receiving end of some nasty foul play in the middle of the box when that ball just swung in.
Aiden Quinn ranked as one of the best central midfielders, not only in the Western Conference, but in the United Soccer League. Good delivery in. Devin Vega gets it away, only as far as Kevin Alston. 27th minute. Still 0-0 between the number 2 and 3 teams in the Western Conference, as Waz is able to claim this to be his own. We'll take another look at the controversy that Hume was asking about next time we have an opportunity from the dead ball. DeBose gives it away. Straight into Ina Voltson. And good work from DeBose to track back Cornally caught in a bit of trouble. Phoenix doing a good job of putting pressure under these center backs. Got a little unlucky there not to win the ball. Enevoldsen touches it back for Powder. Quinn in for Christian Duke. Captain on the move, but stopped by Luigi Mala. And Jason Johnson will slow things up for the home side. Vega does just enough. Cortez couldn't quite keep it. He hasn't looked himself for the first 28 minutes or so. Darwin Jones, meanwhile. Malik Badawi saying it was all ball. Patient build-up from Phoenix. They've been chasing it for the past few minutes or so. Now want to make Orange County do the chasing. Vega. Good ball over for Asante. Back for Vega, just out of his reach. Lambert lets it fly. It was blocked by Hume. Well, that was eerily similar to the goal that Lambert scored in the last game of the season against T2 last year. From almost the exact same spot, it had that wild knuckling action on it. You can only imagine what Andre Rawls would have had to deal with had that gotten past Hume. Powder. Cornally will have to go back and retrieve it. Officially past the half-hour mark here in the Valley of the Sun. Tyler Terrans along with Devin Kerr at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Glad to have you with us. As Amadou Dia wins the ball back for Phoenix, but it was intended for Chris Cortez, who was not making that run. Orange County sitting in second in the Western Conference table. Phoenix staring right up at them in third. Both teams on 41 points. Orange County with the slight edge on goal differential, but Phoenix with a game in hand. Vega along for Solomon Asante. It's a straight up 2v2. Asante trying to get around Hume. Good delivery in, looking for Cortez, but it's just over his head. Not many deliveries that'll fly over Cortez, but he just saw one of them.
Sometimes when you go up against Solomon Asante, you have to pick and choose your battles, and that's what Walker Hume does, just pushes him to the side, makes him float something to the back post. Want them to go and challenge him, and Phoenix really pushing their force around here. Cornally not happy. Kevon Lambert gets tangled up as well, but no malintent in that situation. Smart by the referee, and then they would start to trade blows in the middle of the park. This is where Darwin Jones cuts in. Referee no call. Christian Duke coming in late, repaying the favor.
Well, we talked about whether or not these two teams are officially rivals at the top of the broadcast. The physical play certainly pointing in that direction. Kevin Alston. Great off-season pickup and terrific veteran. Spent a number of years with the New England Revolution in Major League Soccer. Enevoldsen. Powder. In for Michael Seaton. Now Orange County starting to threaten. Enevoldsen, saved by Wazinski. A fizzing shot from one of the leading goal scorers in the USL, and Waz is up to the task.
This is an insane save from Carl Wazinski as Indy Voltson pulls the trigger from distance, and right at the end it dips on, and Waz is able to push it down, and so difficult for the goalkeeper, but gets it up over the bar, gives his chance. Back to Orange County, and an excellent opportunity for the home squad to reset, get their bearing straight. Energy has been very high, but time to pull the reins back a little bit, get control of this match.
Aiden Quinn, another corner brought to you by Carvana. Quinn. And we're gonna have a stoppage from our referee. More pushing and shoving going on inside the penalty area. Chris Cortez getting a talking to. Same goes for Mike DeFont. Chris Cortez so important to this Phoenix side when defending set pieces, standing at 6'4". Aiden Quinn will get another crack at it. Towards the back post. Won by Kavan Lambert. Only as far as Darwin Jones. His delivery deflected, and then another corner kick coming up for the visitors, Orange County. Waz looking to get back to his clean sheet ways after no goals June. They went well over 450 minutes without conceding a goal before that 4-0 loss at Fresno. Quinn, another good delivery, Cortez wins it. Bierman couldn't get there, Cortez breaks it up. Christian Duke. Well, Devin, this time last year for Phoenix, they were on 28 points after a draw against RGV on August 12th. They didn't reach 41 points, which they currently sit on, until September 16th after their win against the Monarchs. I think it's safe to say that it's been a vast improvement since 2017, but if you ask anybody around the Phoenix camp, it isn't even close to good enough. It seems to be the #1 seed or bust, at least heading into the playoffs.
That's what everybody would like, and you definitely want to secure top 4 first and foremost, and then try and make your way up the ranks. Obviously, the Real Monarchs have had the best of it in the Western Conference so far, but plenty of time for Phoenix to get back into that argument for the #1 spot. And coming down the stretch last year, everybody needs to remember they went 11-1-3 in their final 15 regular season games, so sitting in a much better position this year. And look where they ended up going into the playoffs last year.
It was a #5 seed. They traveled to Swope Park. Here's Devontae DeBose traveling up the right wing, sends it in. Rawls couldn't hang on to it. Johnson dispossessed by Powder, and a corner kick coming up for Phoenix. Excellent work from DeBose getting forward from the right back position.
How about the Jamaican Jason Johnson really turning the speed on here, because he's coming all the way from the other touchline to break this up at the near post. It's good perseverance by JJ, and another opportunity for Phoenix to get out in front.
And our replay is brought to you by our friends over at Reese's Dental. Colin Fernandez over to take the corner. Asante will travel with him. And again, it's pulling an extra defender out for OCSC. Fernandez towards the back post. Won by Orange County. Amadou Dia. Over for Mike DeFont. Just loops it in. It'll skip for Asante. Asante's ball in is a good one. Handled by Aiden Quinn. And back and forth we go here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Here's Vega. Shot doesn't get past Cronali. Out wide for Amadou Dia. Numbers in the box for Phoenix. It was intended for Lambert. Deflection from OC. Asante back in. Boy, Orange County are defending extremely well at the moment. And the foul called against Colin Fernandez. That's virtually his first of the game. And here he is, shown mustard in the 38th minute. And the crowd here at the complex certainly not happy about it.
I don't think anybody's going to agree with the decision by the referee, because there's been some physical play, but he's really let the boys play for the most part. This might be Ine Voltsen's opportunity to just progress into the final third by himself and exploit some space in between the holding midfielder.
Colin Fernandez scoring his first goal for Phoenix Rising against T2. A thumping effort inside of the penalty area. Christian Duke meeting Quinn, striding forward purposefully. Now it's Seaton going for the curler. It sneaks in. Michael Seaton with a phenomenal effort in the 39th, and Orange County, the visitors, up on the board right before halftime.
Sometimes there's just great things that take place, and Michael Seaton does exactly that, able to step in front. DeBose exposed a little bit, not far outside as he had tracked inside. Mala doesn't close him down fast enough. Waz had already shifted to his right, could not get his footwork fast enough to make his way back to the far post. Gotta pay credit where credit's due, and that's just a great finish from Michael Seaton, the number 9 up top.
And on cue, Michael Seaton, after he delivered his message to the haters, shown a yellow card. Didn't exactly catch the entire message. It said something along the lines of, "Thanks for not believing." Well, I'm sure there aren't many 2 non-believers anymore. Here's Devin Vega. Phoenix trying to answer quickly. And going to ground immediately was Alex Cronali, as Devin Vega took a very heavy touch. Asante just skipping around Mats Bierman. Over for Jason Johnson. The Jamaican going to work. Johnson whips it across, and Cortez's shot actually hit off of his plant foot and out of bounds for a goal kick. Kevin Alston. Orange County slowly but surely building up. They have the highest amount of total passes this season in the United Soccer League and rank in the top 3 in passing accuracy. As this ball sent all the way over and across the byline. Goal kick coming for Waz. He really couldn't do much about the Michael Seaton strike just a couple minutes ago.
Again, sometimes those guys are up top for a reason, able to make something out of nothing. And not saying that opportunity wasn't nothing, but he just did a good job. Right place, right time. Took the appropriate touch to set himself up. And his second one was even better, as he was able to pick out just inside that far post to beat Waz.
Seaton with his 6th goal of the season. And when we asked Braden Cloutier a couple weeks ago about the relationship between Thomas Ine Voltsen and Michael Seaton, it was a little bit shaky at the beginning of the season, and they sat both of them down as a pair and individually saying, listen, there are things that both of you bring that the other does not, and there are strengths that both of you have that can play off of each other. And he expects both of them to be in double digits in goal. Thomas Ine Voltsen already has a dozen. Michael Seaton well on his way with 6. As this is given away at the back, dangerous. Ine Voltsen back for Christian Duke and his shot into the Bandidos, but Phoenix needs to be really careful. Giving it away a couple of times in clear possession in the back. And fans, make sure to visit your Valley local supermarket and pick up a Phoenix Rising branded bottle of Arizona Gunslinger. Cortez helps it along. Jason Johnson trying to get on the right side of Kevin Alston. Looking to use his pace. Jason Johnson. Good delivery. Almost chipping Andre Rawls. Well, the good news is for both Orange County and Phoenix Rising, the top dogs in the Western Conference at the moment, the Real Monarchs, after a really phenomenal effort to just get back into the game after falling down 2-0. They equalized at 2-2, but Monty Patterson in the 83rd minute with the game winner. So the Monarchs fall to OKC at Taft Stadium. And well, Devin, it's there for the taking for both Phoenix and Orange County. Still a lot of football to be played, but this isn't like last year where the Monarchs were just clear and day running away with it.
Definitely good news for Phoenix Rising fans, and Orange County is going to be happy at that as well. Plenty of time for Phoenix to get back into this match, as Orange County sitting out in front, but a couple things going on tonight. RGV also up at Papa Murphy's Park on Sacramento Republic, so the Quails struggling. San Antonio knotted with S2 as well. On the Pacific Northwest, it's so difficult to go out there and get a result. T2 actually took down Swope Park Rangers, so plenty of time for either one of these squads to distance themselves and gain ground on the Monarchs.
Last touch coming off of Michael Seaton. And the word down on the field, not confirmed yet, 5 minutes of stoppage time with the Alessandro Ricci injury in the first 10 minutes or so. Jason Johnson came on and almost immediately scored another fabulous individual goal, essentially taking it from 10 yards behind midfield all the way to within 7 yards of Andre Rawls, but Rawls able to make a terrific save. Well, we thought that the Golden Boot race leader was going to be traveling here to the Valley of the Sun, but Thomasina Voltson leapfrogged by Cameron Lancaster, who put in a hat trick for Louisville City FC yesterday in a wild affair with New York Red Bulls 2. Game that finished with a casual 10 goals. 3 of them coming from Mr. Lancaster, who now has 13 goals on the season and leads all scorers in the United Soccer League. Louisville would come away winners 6-4 after falling down 2-0, as Fernandez trying to pick out Vega. Hume, patient from Orange County, up on the road, knocking on the door of halftime. Braden Cloutier's side in no rush. Michael Seaton, flag stays down. Seaton already with a goal to his name. Working on Luigi Mala, lays it off for Quinn, who lets it fly, but it's blocked by Kavan Lambert. Mala misplays it, but able to recover. Nervy moment at the back for Phoenix. Here's Jones on the turn. Sliding it through for Ina Voltson. Waz off of his line and makes the kick save. Orange County at the moment picking apart Phoenix, but Waz doing his part.
A lot of times you'll see Waz step in frustrated with his back line when they get out of position, but that's not the case here. This is just Ina Voltson getting into a dangerous space where Defon has to challenge him one-on-one. He does well, cuts down the angle, and Waz just makes a good save.
Another corner coming up for Orange County. Phoenix have defended them well up until this point. Michael Seaton with the lone goal in the 39th minute. Aiden Quinn. Flicked along, last touch. Coming off of OCSC, and a goal kick for Carl Wazinski. Powder keeps it in play. DeBose trying to get it back for Asante. Christian Duke taken down by Fernandez. Referee says play on. Johnson showing good strength. Back for JJ. Vega. Now wide for Amadou Dia. The Clemson product. Good delivery in. Oh, Asante was waiting for it. DeBose gets a hold of it. Now it's Asante again. Johnson tried the back heel for the captain, Solomon Asante. Does well to win it back. Falls for Vega. Now it's Fernandez. Tries to let it fly. Vega shouts for a foul, not given by Malik Badawi. Couple of deflections, falls nicely for Vega. Now over for Asante. Solomon Asante stumbles, still with it. Vega on the first time, and he completely scuffed it. And cleared away by Orange County, but Phoenix knocking on the door late in the first half. Amadou Dia taking on Alston. Oh, it's terrific skill. No call from the ref. Goal kick.
You've seen a couple times here in the past 5 or 6 minutes, guys slipping right at the top of the box. Have to wonder, the elements are starting to come into play and just some ill footing. Even Dia right there, getting caught up underneath himself. Obviously Kevin Alston getting involved, but have to wonder if it possibly warrants a equipment change at halftime, bringing in some longer studs. Definitely a move these guys might want to make, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and you're going to have to challenge Michael Seaton.
Well, that's going to do it for the first half between the number 2 and number 3 team in the Western Conference for Orange County and Phoenix Rising, respectively. Michael Seaton with a fabulous curling effort in the 39th minute. That's the difference between these two sides. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
This play started as electric as you could want it to be, but it went silent in the 14th minute when Alessandro Ricci went down, and you wish him a speedy recovery in whatever direction that may be at this point in time. But Jason Johnson stepped in. We saw a decent response from the home squad, but Orange County just picked and prodded, chose their opportunities wisely. Michael Seaton had a little window at the far post, was able to bury it away. Coming into the start of the second half, you need a lot more electricity coming out of the home squad. You need the crowd to rally behind them. Some tactical changes here and there. There was a lot of interchanging play between the wingsters before Ricci went out. I'd like to see that again.
Well, this is the third time that these rivals are meeting this season, and it'll be the final time unless they happen to collide in the postseason. Orange County feel like they owe Phoenix one, and they're playing like it at the moment. Michael Seaton striking the 39th, the difference maker at the moment. We're heading to the halftime show.
Phoenix Rising FC y Didier Drogba están subiendo la intensidad esta temporada. Únete a la acción en el Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex en Scottsdale y siente la gran emoción y habilidades del fútbol profesional. Disfruta la noche de cervezas a $1 y mira la batalla de Phoenix Rising contra San Antonio Football Club. Miércoles 22 de agosto a las 7 p.m. Obtén tus boletos en phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy el Dr. José Francisco Carrasco de Happy Kids Pediatrics. Para nosotros, sinceramente, lo más importante es la salud y el bienestar de sus niños.
Happy Kids Pediatrics son clínicas especializadas en pediatría enfocadas en la salud y el bienestar de los niños con localidades cómodas, limpias y cercanas a usted. Podrá ver al mismo proveedor médico constantemente. Aceptamos access, aseguranzas privadas y precios especiales para pacientes sin seguro médico. Happy Kids Pediatrics, sirviendo a la comunidad hispana por más de 18 años.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Halftime here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex between Phoenix and Orange County. Michael Seaton with the game winner as it stands, and it's halftime, and that obviously means that there's going to be kids flossing. That just seems to be like peanut butter and jelly at this point. And we have a little special piece for Rick Shantz, who recently celebrated his 16th anniversary with his lovely wife Lisa on August 6th. And we had a special present for him because back when Jason Johnson scored this terrific goal, there were obviously a number of people who were trying to replicate it, including Rick Shantz. And he didn't necessarily have the greatest showing when he was trying to replicate it. But however, take a look in the background over the shoulder of Frank Yallop, circa 2017. Shantz, how good is that? We'll take one more look at it. This is when Frank Yallop was still in charge. It's outstanding stuff.
That's greatness from the gaffer. Got to give him respect. The first one we showed was earlier this season. It wasn't in response to Jason Johnson, and he just said, you know what? Jose Bosch kind of threw me under the bus a little bit, but I've got something better for you guys, and that's a great picture from Coach Johnson. His lovely wife celebrating their anniversary. Always best wishes to them, and 16 years. You and I can't even spend 16 days together.
And you're getting married in a couple of months as well.
I'm gonna break your heart.
Most bittersweet day of my life. A very happy anniversary to Rick Shantz. Hopefully Phoenix will be able to pull it out in the second half and give them 3 points. Right now they're trailing 1-0. We're heading to another break. Don't go anywhere.
Save! Olwine Fun Williams kept that out.
Second time, and it's blocked.
Wow, what a save from Wazinski there.
And another save for Lopez. Estrada, save! Fennelson!
Not Chimpong, left-footed ball, saved!
Starikov, save! Ranchitsing.
Spark the counterattack the other way. Christian Duke couldn't get there. Great move. T2 on the move. It's a 2-on-1. Still with it. T2 all the way. Oh my goodness.
To free up Sam Hamilton, and now speaking of freeing up, here's Shane Malcolm. Malcolm with the left foot scores!
What a tremendous goal from Shane Malcolm, absolutely beautiful.
Jeb looking to work some space, but Jeb's gonna give it a go! Beyond the Jeb with his 4th goal of the season, and it's an absolute beauty. Another chance, and San Antonio FC delivers! The Desmond will send it across. Adi on the header, and Pickens makes the save.
And again, it's a teasing ball towards the back post, and Ferrigno somehow, some way, tips it over the bar.
Troyer! Oh, a spectacular save by McGuire.
Mohamed, no.
Oh!
Danny Lynn, great save.
Five players edge of the Tampa Bay penalty area, and oh, what a goal! And it's Nana Adekora. Pushing upfield, to the top by Venegas, and it's in for Indy. McInerney on the doorstep.
Well played into the box for Asante, knocks it down, and it's in the net.
Burt crosses this one, far side for Uso, into the back of the net!
Nice little touch.
To Francois, drive
There it is!
It's onside of the house. Have the lead.
Not down, Illich stabs it back. Davis!
Outstanding stuff from the United Soccer League, as always, as we are well underway in week number 22. Terrific highlights from week number 21 as the fans are soaking in the heat, and some beverages here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex at halftime. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr will take a look at what's going on around our beautiful league, and Number of top teams colliding, including this matchup right here, number 2 and number 3 in the Western Conference. We had Louisville City FC and New York Red Bulls 2, number 4 and 5. Reno and Monarchs earlier in the week. How about some new franchises? Austin Bold and El Paso garnering their patches, their names. And then how about Chandler Hoffman? He'll be headed over to Birmingham Legion FC. It's funny, the Birmingham Legion logo has already been voted the favorite logo amongst logos in the USL. Phoenix is 3rd, but given the fact that the Legion haven't played a season yet, I think it's fair to declare Phoenix 2nd.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair that Legion's even in the voting. You're not even in the league, you haven't played a game.
It's
the star of the show.
Nonsense.
It's ridiculous. I was surprised that Chandler Hoffman went that direction, though. Obviously from Birmingham and Oak Mountain High School, 2-time state champ before going to UCLA, but it's going to be an awesome opportunity for him to showcase his talents at home. And look, you got to look at all the guys that have done their dirty work. And if you haven't had a chance, go check out Darnell King and the blast that he had in the top of the box. What an absolute rocket. Bijev got involved. He had a nice strike as well. We know what Chris Cortez was able to do last week for his T2, and the antics of Ricardo Ferrigno, unfortunately, were not enough for him as they went down to St. Louis tonight.
Well, they were able to get that 1-0 win against RGV. Nico Brett highlights this team of the week as the player of the week with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They're going to be in action against the Bethlehem Steel tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. You can catch that game on ESPN+. And then, of course, Darwin Jones garnering some honors as well for his performance against the Swope Park Rangers. And with that, we'll take a look at some of the matches that you might want to keep an eye on in the Western Conference, and some very good ones. Devin, you'll be on the call for the St. Louis FC Sacramento Republic over at Toyota in the middle of the country, Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific time. Orange County and Las Vegas from Championship Stadium as one of the, I guess we'll call it, craziest shows in the United Soccer League. Travel to Irvine, California. T2 will be hosting San Antonio. T2 has been in very good form as of late. And then it'll be Phoenix traveling to Cashman Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific time kickoff. Devin, what are you looking forward to?
You have to pay a lot of credit in T2 to Foster Langsdorff and his form. But I'm on that St. Louis FC Sacramento Republic game because the Quails have been very up and down. We've seen them challenge Phoenix in the past in Orange County, but then you come the other direction. Anthony Pulis in St. Louis taking down Reno in their 16-match unbeaten streak, and now really finding form. Gotten a couple wins the past couple games, pulling themselves back into playoff contention. Keep an eye on that one.
Well, they're also trailing RGV 1-0 at the moment, or last time we checked. We're almost through halftime, and that means second half kickoff is right around the corner when we come back. First half highlights, stats, and of course, the resumption of this fantastic rivalry. Don't go anywhere.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
Brighten up your home this summer with new furniture from Pruitt's. We've got the latest styles at the lowest prices. Like these rocker recliners, your choice of color, just $199. Or this 4-piece rustic bedroom set, dresser, mirror, nightstand, and queen bed, just $499. Visit Pruitt's for the lowest prices and best selection at Thomas Road and 34th Street. Pruitt's, proudly serving the Valley for over 65 years.
Worried about your kids' health care? Sick of doctor's offices with no appointments available? Let Happy Kids Pediatrics help. Our hand-picked staff is carefully cultivated to provide professional and compassionate care when your child needs it. Plus, we happily accept access, private insurance, and even offer special pricing for patients with no health insurance. With over 18 years providing quality health care to Valley children in our convenient Valley-wide locations, you can trust your child's health care to Happy Kids Pediatrics.
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Almost ready to go here in the Valley of the Sun for this second half. Michael Seaton with the lone scorer in this one. Coming in the 39th minute, Alessandro Ricci went down with an injury in the 13th. Entered J.J. Johnson, who was amongst one of the Phoenix players who had a very good opportunity to get the home side up on the scoreboard. We'll take a look at some of the opportunities from the first half. Jason Johnson, moments after coming on, just a magnificent individual effort.
Jason Johnson coming on doing some dancing as he comes into the final third, and we saw him get into one-on-one situations. He became quiet towards the latter portion of the first half, though. This one was a good opportunity when he went in versus Andre Rawls and then coming the other direction. Noah Powder tried to pick out Michael Seaton trailing on the far post, just out of the reach of the big number 9 up top. And then it started to get physical. Saw a nice ball in on the corner, back-to-back. Alex Cronelli goes to ground. Orange County not happy.
And then we'll head to the 39th minute. Another look at the grab there from Kevon Lambert. The referee would say play on. And then this looked pretty innocuous from Orange County, but then Michael Seaton just finds a little bit of space, and this is just terrific.
It's smart from Michael Seaton, and you're right, Aiden Quinn plays it here. You see the touch out in front of him, and you would almost expect this to come back the other direction or him to pull it back across his body and really challenge. But he understands he's been given a tiny touch of space because Devontae DeBose has stepped inside, coming back out one-on-one with the center back, Luigi Mala, and Michael Seaton just goes for glory on the far post, and he's able to get it. Waz comes up big at the end as well. Another teasing ball in. Innie Voltson gets in behind. DeFont can't handle it. Waz makes a big save.
Carl Wazinski had to make a couple of big saves in the first half as Orange County, as we've seen before this season. Very good one on top of the ball. They can pick you apart, but Phoenix have held strong with the exception of the individual effort from Michael Seaton. A look at the stats from the first 45 minutes. We expected Orange County to be in possession for the majority of the first half. Devin, the shots on target, again an issue for Phoenix. We saw this against the Monarchs, where they get chances, but they don't challenge the opposition's keeper.
And unfortunately for Phoenix Rising, that came back to haunt them because that own goal right at the beginning, or excuse me, at the end of the first half, really took the wind out of their sails. They're dealing with it tonight as well. A massive injury that pulls their Canadian friend, Alessandro Ricci, off the pitch, and JJ steps in. Now, we saw a positive response over the course of 10 or 15 minutes, but then it cooled off. What sort of energy and character are you going to bring coming out of the tunnel at the start of the second half? That's something Rick Shantz is going to be preaching in the locker room right now.
Well, the message has been family the entire season from Rick Shantz, basically since the departure of Patrice Carteron. And we'll take a look at the goal-scoring family in the United Soccer League right now, the top dogs of that family. And, well, at the top of the pack is Cameron Lancaster. We mentioned before in the middle of the game that Mr. Lancaster scored a hat-trick against New York Red Bulls 2, a game in which his comrades scored 6 goals altogether. Tulagera, Thomasina Voltson right behind Cameron Lancaster as he takes his first lead of the season. And Louisville actually have a number of games in hand on a lot of teams, not only in the Eastern Conference, but in the USL in general. Here's a look at the 3 players behind them, and of course, Chris Cortez amongst the mix as well.
Tulagera was almost non-existent in the midweek game versus Tampa Bay Rowdies, but Nico Brett, Bob Lilly have been getting back on track. Daniel Rios, unfortunately, his squad, he seems to be the only one that can find form there as they're trying to progress into the playoff. Tampa Bay Rowdies lost again tonight. NCFC really struggling to stay in touch there, but so many guys coming down the stretch, just continuously finding form and finding the back of the net, is making this race extremely exciting.
Well, Phoenix would love a goal from Chris Cortez and to perhaps get level with Innie Voltson and Tulagera, and it would get them level here in this one in the Valley of the Sun as we're officially underway for the second half. Tyler Terrence along with ex-German pro Devin Kerr. So glad that you could join us for what is surely the best matchup in the USL this week, and it has not let us down up until this point. A little bit of a damper with Alessandro Ricci going down about 13 minutes in, but enter Jason Johnson, and he's put on a great performance. Alston bends it in. Seaton tried to take it on the first time, and we're off and running already here in the second 45 minutes. Innie Voltson trying to get it back for Beerman. Remember, Gladson Awako still serving his 3-game suspension after getting his second yellow card and then sent off, and then after further review, suspended for 3 games for wrapping his hands around the throat of Michael Chang of the Real Monarchs. So he'll serve his last game suspended against Las Vegas. And then he'll be free and clear to be back in the lineup. Aiden Quinn. He had one of the goals in Orange County's midweek draw against T2 last week. Innie Voltson had the equalizer. Here is Aiden Quinn getting it on that left foot, lofts it towards the back post, but nobody home for the visitors, and a goal kick coming up for Waz. Fernandez gives it away. Pressure from OC right out the gates here in the second half. Ina Olsen. The Indiana product, Kevin Alston, gets it over for Darwin Jones. Seattle homegrown towards the byline and cut off by Amadou Dia. And Devin, we saw this throughout spells of the first half where Phoenix just kind of look out of sorts, and with all the pressure from Orange County, they have a difficult time winning the ball, but then taking the next step and keeping possession.
You could see frustration just a second ago by Chris Cortez coming into your viewpoint now. Not happy with the distribution coming out of the back, and you work so hard on the defensive side of the ball that when you start to go the other direction, you want to make sure you take care of it. That wasn't the case. Cortez not as crisp as we've seen in the past.
Here's Ina Voltson. It's off the post and in. Thomas Ina Voltson, 13 on the season, draws level with Cameron Lancaster in the USO Golden Boot race, and now he's doubled Orange County's lead here in the Valley of the Sun. 2-0 to the visitors.
Much too lethargic by the midfield of Phoenix Rising. Colin Fernandez gets turned around. You see Kevon Lambert way out of position as he's tracking back 5-6 yards, and the number 7 slides in to a holding midfielder role right around the 10 spot, picks out the near post, takes a tiny touch as Waz tries to make his way back, and he is absolutely furious that the midfielders don't step in to close him down.
It's a baker's dozen for the Dane, and Phoenix Rising currently have themselves a problem. It was excellent movement from Orange County, virtually stepping out of the dressing room and putting this Phoenix defense and midfield under siege, and they're rewarded for their efforts. Ina Voltson, back for Michael Seaton. Could this be 3? Seaton. Good challenge for Luigi Mala. Duke shot, just fizzing wide. Asante wins it, and the referee brings it back. It's a foul on Noah Powder. Asante a bit shaken up.
This is extremely aggressive. Asante jumps ship on Noah Powder, and you pull him down. How is that not a card?
Is that not the same exact thing that happened to Colin Fernandez?
Almost identical. Referee not brandishing a card in the situation, and we've actually seen Noah Powder tangle it up quite a few times in the opening 50 minutes here.
Well, Malik Badawi might have missed one. We'll play on. 51st minute, Orange County just recently doubling their lead. Fernandez flicked along. Mala was looking for it. Asante battling, getting on the right side of Quinn. Asante trying to get a shot off, lost his footing in the process. Fernandez over for DeBose. Good delivery in. Cronali nods it away. Cortez along for Vega. Former San Antonio FC man. Coming out wide for Amadou Dia. Now back centrally for Luigi Mala. Just dinking it over the top, hoping for Kevon Lambert. And now it's Phoenix putting the pressure on Orange County. Dia lining up for the long throw-in. Amadou Dia takes one bounce. Johnson saved in front by Rawls, and he hangs on to it. Johnson was motioning to the referee that it might have hit off the hand of an Orange County defender, but Rawls, another good save.
This is extremely difficult from JJ because he doesn't have a lot of room, and as it comes across his body, you can run yourself into a high kick situation, but he's able to get a shot off right in front of Noah Powder. Difficult to tell if that did come off the arm. Maybe off of Walker Hume, but referee said no. But this is a good response from Phoenix Rising. Flat coming out of the dressing room, but it's been electric since then.
Asante. Phoenix looking for a response after Thomasina Voltson's 13th goal this season. Alston loses it for a moment. But Jason Johnson couldn't quite get around the veteran outside back. Asante, probing, looking for an avenue, linking up with Colin Fernandez. Lambert, Devin Vega joining in on the fun. Now it's Amadou Dia. Jason Johnson draws two defenders. Johnson stood up extremely well by Kevin Alston. And it looks like it's gonna be a corner. Alston not happy with the call.
Alston might be right in this situation because as JJ goes one-on-one, Alston comes in, good tackle, and it looks like it does come off of JJ.
Well, corner kick nonetheless. Asante on top of it. Corner kick's brought to you by Carvana. Dia lining it up, and it's over the bar. Good idea from the Clemson product. It seems like Orange County, one of the few teams, not only in the Western Conference, but in the USL, that can match up physically with Phoenix Rising, and that might be part of the reason for the design set piece, as Jason Johnson brings down Alston from behind, and now a set piece on the other end for Orange County. Asante. Vega helps it along, but only helps it out of play. Devin, 10 minutes into the second half. What's been going wrong for Phoenix?
Well, the biggest issue is they're now down 2. They came out very flat. That was not the response that you wanted. Thought that maybe they would have gotten their ducks in a row after the difficult first half that they had to deal with. Alessandro Ricci going down, and then individual brilliance by Michael Seaton up top, the number 9.
Mala, terrific defending.
It's really going to be about the next 10 minutes or so because Rick Shantz doesn't have a lot of options on the bench offensively. The emotion that we've seen from Jason Johnson is becoming a bit detrimental to his play. We've seen that in the past where he can sort of pull himself out of a game. It can work for him, but it also can work heavily against him. That's not what you want to see from the Jamaican. He's starting to pull himself on the inside as well when Amadou Dia starts to push high up on the pitch.
Ina Voltson gets it along for Seaton. And we're getting word that Brady Cloutier is going to make his first substitution of the evening, and it's going to be Gio Ramos-Godoy coming on and replacing Mats Bierman. Bierman didn't get a ton of touches on the ball, but he's more known for his movement and creating space for the other big names like Thomasina Voltsen, Michael Seaton, and Aiden Quinn. But Bierman's day will come to a conclusion here in the 57th minute. And Gio Ramos-Godoy, who has scored some big goals off of the bench, onto the scene, and the substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs.
That is quite interesting about Mats Bierman, because even when he plays out on the wing, you're right, he's a very supplemental type player, almost squad-like at times, where you just want to bring him in and kind of fill a void or a space to help the transition going forward. He's not going to put up a boatload of numbers, but does a good job keeping everybody headed in the right direction, whether offensive or defensive. Chris Cortez has been super quiet, and whether that be his ability to get on the same page as the rest of the guys on the pitch, or maybe his performance overall. We talked to Shantz this week, and exactly what was he like in the Real Monarchs game, and he said, look, you know, everybody has an off game, and his ill performance didn't prove to me, at least the one time out, that he wasn't capable of getting the job done. So continuously giving him reps, and obviously he proved him right, coming out, putting in a stellar performance at T2, but now you need the big guy to have a better response here in the second half. Really disconnected from the rest of the squad in the opening 45 minutes, and that's carried over here into the second. They do have Kavan Frater on the bench if need be.
Asante trying to get it along for DeBose. Good defending on the outside from Ramos-Godoy. And a deep throw in coming up for the home side, who are looking for some sort of response after falling 2-0 down in the opening moments of the second half. Luigi Mala shown a yellow card here. Well, he clearly was trying to hold up play, but it did not look like it warranted mustard.
Mala shaking his head in disbelief here, and you can see he steps in. The big number 9, Michael Seaton, but the referee blow the whistle, start going the other direction, buddy. There's no reason whatsoever for you to step in and brandish a yellow card there. All ended up in the book unnecessarily. Most people will agree with that. He's done a good job on the defensive side of the ball, and no reason whatsoever for him to go into the book.
So Colin Fernandez and Luigi Mala now sitting on a yellow card for Phoenix. For Orange County, Michael Seaton shown mustard for removing his shirt after scoring his sensational goal. Still a message that needs to be decrypted that was written on his undershirt. But we'll leave that for the fans. Remember these two sides, number 2 and 3 respectively in the Western Conference standings, as Christian Duke trying to pick out Ramos-Godoy. Darwin Jones. Dia gives it away straight into the feet of Aiden Quinn. Quinn sends it out wide. It's Jones again. Jones sends it across. It fizzes across the face of goal. Only collected by Devontae DeBose. It just looks at times like the back line and even the holding midfielders for Phoenix just completely switch off. Meanwhile, we'll have our second substitution of the night. Remember, Jason Johnson came on for Alessandro Ricci back in the 14th minute due to injury. And it'll be Evan Waldrop coming on and replacing Colin Fernandez. Substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs. Devin, your thoughts on Colin's performance over the hour?
You can really see that he doesn't have that full match fitness, and it's been difficult for him to stay involved in the game. His service on dead ball situation wasn't bad, but for me, it's not necessarily Colin Fernandez on his own. Where's Devin Vega been? He's so quiet in the middle of the field, and as the number 10, the attacking midfielder, you need to be much more active in this match. And that's a responsibility that when someone's starting to slack off, other guys have to step in. We've talked about Kavan Lambert in the past, and now he isn't necessarily a holding midfielder role, but both Patrice Carteron and now Rick Schantz like to use him in that spot, and I understand that. He's an amazing number 6, but when someone else is slacking off, other guys have to step up. Now that Colin Fernandez has gone off and Evan Waldrop steps in, even more so. It's a good look at Amadou Dia. No real reason for him to stick his arm out in that situation. Mike DeFont had it covered. And you take a look, it's a very defensive-minded squad from a support standpoint when you take a look at the bench, and you have to wonder, maybe should they have kept Billy Forbes on the bench as well? Because now you didn't know that Alessandro Ricci was going to go down. But even if he doesn't, you take a look, and on the offensive side of the ball, if Ricci stays on the pitch, you've got JJ and you've got Kevon Frater, and that's it. Everybody else, it's a backup goalkeeper, holding midfielder, or defender.
Aiden Quinn on the set piece. Good delivery. Amadou Dia can only clear it over the byline, and another corner coming up for Orange County, who are really just managing this game well. And as much as we can pick apart Phoenix, you have to give credit to this Orange County side who owed Phoenix one. After really getting embarrassed the last time they were here, they were up a man for an hour and still could not get it done, could not find the equalizer, and they've come out and played like this is a playoff game, because it essentially is, as Quinn's delivery poked away by Carl Wazinski, and we'll have another corner on the opposite side.
Beyond impressive from the visitors so far. Plenty of time for Phoenix to get back into it, but you're spot on, Tyler. They've just executed to a T in every way, shape, and form all over the pitch. The back line from 6 all the way around to number 2, Kevin Olsen, has done such a good job of keeping Chris Cortez in check. And again, Devin Vega isn't really involved in the argument whatsoever. He has no talking points at all. And then you start to move in the middle of the field, and Aiden Quinn just being Aiden Quinn. You referenced it before, but one of the best number 6s in the game. He has controlled the entire tempo of this match.
Here he is on another corner, brought to you by Carvana. In towards the back post, Hume. Couldn't put it on frame. And was that just called a penalty? It seems like Malik Badawi just blew for a penalty. And now Orange County will have a chance to go up 3-0 in the 65th by the time this is taken. We'll take another look. You be the judge.
This ball gets floated to the back post, and you see the challenge, but well, that's just ridiculous. That's insane. There's no reason whatsoever for the referee to point to the spot. That is absolutely atrocious from the head referee.
Now it's up to Waz to keep Phoenix within striking distance after what is more than a controversial call. Are the soccer gods just? Quinn buries it, it's 3-0, and Phoenix are left scratching their heads as to what on earth just happened.
Waz has been able to be the wonder boy in the past, but this guesses the wrong way. Everybody deflated in this situation, and you hate to see a referee change the course of this game. And although Orange County out 2-0 and controlling most of it, 3 makes it much worse for the home squad to get back into it. And you can hear the peanut gallery starting to get involved in the act, as they are not happy with the referee's decision whatsoever.
Orange County in complete control. Jones just steps around Waldrop. Godoy, great touch back for Seaton, but cleared away by Luigi Mala. That was Aiden Quinn's 6th goal of the season. His 2nd in the last 3 games. Ramos Godoy finding Christian Duke, plenty of space to play for Orange County. Ina Voltson in for Michael Seaton on the first time, it's 4. Michael Seaton at the brace. Ina Voltson, a terrific ball in, Seaton the finisher. It's 4-0 to Orange County. Phoenix more than deflated at the moment.
Starts off from good ball movement by Christian Duke and Ida Voltson. We've seen what he can do on his finishing, but the distribution is absolutely amazing. Great ball floated into the back post. Big number 9, Michael Seaton, patient, waits underneath it, was hung out to dry, and things have gone from bad to worse in the desert. This is 3 times in the past 6 games that Phoenix Rising have given up 4 goals. You're looking at a team that we sung such high praises for on the defensive side of things, where they cleaned it up compared to last season.
Cortez tries to win it back, finding Jason Johnson. Johnson slides it across, hoping for Asante. Vega over for Asante. Solomon Asante taken down in the box, and it's a penalty. Well, maybe the soccer gods are just, and Phoenix will have a chance to pull one back.
Christian Duke knows it too. Had a quick look at the referee and tried to lobby a touch, but he knew right away. Very frustrating with himself. JJ getting in one-on-one. Good ball across. You have to love this touch right here by Asante to come across the body.
Here's Asante. Phoenix have one back, 4-1. Captain Solo. Chris Cortez with the rejection. And now Jason Johnson in, and Quinn getting into it. The saga continues.
It's quality from Solo, just steps up. Right as the referee pointed to the spot, Solomon Asante went over, grabbed the ball, put it on the circle, ready to do his job. Let's set it go. And this is just Jason Johnson being frustrated with Andre Rawls in between the pipes, trying to hold play up a tad. And it was classy. You have to give credit to number 9, Michael Seaton, his countryman, stepping in between he and Aiden Quinn and playing the mediator to separate the 2 boys and get back to the work that needs to be done.
Well, Orange County with a 4-1 lead after the PK from Solomon Asante. And Devin, not many teams can complete a 3-goal comeback in 20 minutes time. But if you had to list 3, I bet Phoenix would be on it.
It's probably Phoenix Rising, and Average Joe's. Got to get a little humor in. It's been rough the past couple minutes. Let's keep it light and hearty for everybody out there. But I mean, they definitely possess the offensive firepower, but the only goal they've got to show for so far came from the spot. So it was good build-up, though. It was a good job by them getting down into the 3rd.
Well, let me ask you, are you likening Rick Shantz to Patches O'Houlihan?
Oh, he's better than that. No, he's Vince Vaughn. He's higher up on the list. Patches doesn't make it through the movie.
Waz restarts quickly. A goal from Phoenix in the next 5 minutes, and you'll start to see Orange County press a little bit. Lambert, great first touch. The visibility isn't exactly ideal with the smoke bombs going off here at the complex. And it'll be a goal kick, much to the dismay of the crowd here. I'll tell you what, Michael Seaton is having himself a night. 2 goals and an assist. Aiden Quinn with a goal and an assist. Thomasina Voltson with a goal and an assist. Johnson, Cortez, Lambert, over for Asante. This is how he loves to play. Solomon Asante on the move. Still Asante. Is he dragged down again? No call from the referee. Asante cannot believe it.
That's a last-minute tug. Not enough, though. That's not enough for the referee to point. Noah Powder gets stuck in and challenging Asante. Asante trying to make the most of his opportunity, but the referee was in the right position, and it's not enough whatsoever, especially when you feel the momentum start to swing a little bit. He's not going to point and give a penalty kick to Phoenix Rising.
Lambert's called for the foul, but it appeared for all in the world that I believe it was Christian Duke simply stuck his head about 6 inches from the ground, and Lambert's foot just happened to be there. Here's Vega. Phoenix on the move. Devin Vega for Lambert. Now Devontae DeBose. Numbers arriving for Phoenix. DeBose sends it across. It sneaks in. 4-2 to Orange County. Don't call it a comeback just yet.
We said if anybody could do it, could be Phoenix Rising. Lambert sprays a nice ball outside. Solo actually probably should have carried his run out, but he holds it, and he's smart, gets the tiniest of touches when he goes up against his formidable foe, Noah Powder. And watch out, there's life left in these boys yet.
Solomon Asante, second on the night. Ina Olsen. Phoenix cannot afford to concede another. Here's Johnson. Skirting away from a defender. Johnson on the move. Here's Vega. Sending it across. Jason Johnson! It skirts wide of the far post. But Phoenix are feeling it. Make no mistake about it.
Tell him, JJ, get up. We need some help. We need your support. That's what he gets here. Devin Vega moves out of the 10 over to the 7 spot. What a ball by Devin Vega. Very critical of him, but he has come to life here in the past 10 minutes. JJ can't get it on frame. But Phoenix Rising really starting to pick it up.
Well, we mentioned that Solomon Asante was the goal scorer on that last one. Opta right now is crediting it to Noah Powder as an own goal, but I have a feeling that'll be changed. And that just looked like Andre Rawls picked up the ball, dropped it, and then picked it up again.
What game is he refereeing right now?
Cortez on the turn.
Blatantly clear right at the top of the box.
And if Phoenix fans didn't already know, Pete Ramage, Rambo, fantastic center back from a year ago, and had an outstanding player career overseas, and then obviously had a great year with Phoenix, has arrived as a new assistant coach for Rick Schantz, announced just a couple days ago.
Mike DeFont doing battle with Michael Seaton. We saw DeFont go down twice last game versus T2 as well, but this has been a rough night for the back line of Phoenix. They've consistently had to challenge the Jamaican and push into an aggressive role. As looks like our head referee is going to have a few words with some of the supporting staff.
And he's going to send off Corey Robertson, the goalkeeping coach. And to be quite honest, I'm surprised that there hasn't been a Phoenix coach who already hasn't been sent off. There's been too many questionable calls, and the referee has too much impact on this game. I mean, at this point, it's better that it's a coach than a player. But for Malik Badawi, we've seen better from him. There's been a number of question marks tonight.
Still trying to figure out what went on at the top of the box just a few moments ago. Unless there was an extracurricular going on behind our backs that we didn't know, Rawls had this ball in his hand, put it to ground, and then picked it up again and continued play.
Lambert wrapped up by Alston. And a good set piece opportunity coming up for Phoenix. Only the 78th minute. Plenty of time for Phoenix to try to mount a comeback. The Bandidos and Red Fury doing everything that they can to help the cause.
You got to find a way to get Chris Cortez on the ball. He's been quiet. And that big frame and the aerial attack that he possesses, what a great time to get him back into the spotlight. Throw some motion in the box and veer something to the back post to really challenge Andre Rawls to come off his line of touch. Give a better angle for Cortez to put something on the frame.
Asante skirts all the way through. Nobody was making that delayed run for Phoenix except for Kevon Lambert, who was a little bit late arriving.
Right before this ball was played, I'm motioning to Tyler, saying that thought Cortez was going to peel off because you saw the pick set right at the top of the box. And everybody crashing in right around the penalty mark. No one on the delayed run. They should know better in a situation like that.
Here's Johnson. Rawls tips it over the bar. Phoenix continue to knock on the door.
You got to question which one's smoother. Him bringing this ball off his chest or this silky smooth first touch. That's impressive. We know how much he likes the ball on his left foot, but turning it the other direction. Last chance coming off the corner for Phoenix Rising as they continue to threaten. 10 minutes left in this match. Down 2. It's Luigi Mala trying to find form, but the answers aren't up there, buddy. Trust me. I've looked.
Well, Phoenix are looking for a couple of answers. They went down 4-0. They were able to get one back from Solomon Asante's penalty. And then what looked like a Solomon Asante's second goal off a good ball in from Devontae DeBose. Optus still has it as a Noah Powder own goal. But we all know the truth. "10 minutes for Phoenix to try to put together one of the greatest comebacks in USL history. Jason Johnson. Mike DeFont gets it along for Dia. Wrapped up. And Seaton shoved to the ground by Chris Cortez. Good sportsmanship from Cortez, who was just trying to halt the counterattack. A professional foul from a professional man. Ralston. Asante. Fouled by Powder. And Malik Badawi is putting up 2 fingers saying that's his second, but that's his second blatantly trying to stop a counterattack going the other way. And it looks like Kevon Frater will be the 3rd and final substitute for Rick Shantz. And it's Devontae DeBose coming off. So it appears that Phoenix is going to move at 3 at the back. And an extra attacker for the home side. Christian Duke fouling Solomon Asante. Substitute brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs.
With that substitution, expect Cortez to sit a tad deeper into the midfield, almost in a false 9, let Kevon Frater run rampant up top by himself. 2 good striking partners to have coming down the stretch, but they've got to get something, and they've got to get it going soon. Time is running out.
And it's going to be Koji Hashimoto, Japanese veteran with a number of appearances in the J1 League over in the Eastern Hemisphere. Will come on and replace Michael Seaton, who had a terrific night. 2 goals and an assist. This substitute brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs. A night that Michael Seaton surely won't forget anytime soon here in the Valley of the Sun. Amadou Dia clips it in. Knotted across by Lambert. Hume gets ahead to it, and a corner kick coming up for Phoenix. A little more than 7 minutes remaining in this one. Asante.
Referee asking him to wait for the whistle. Asante not agreeing. Another good ball in, but he actually should have waited because he had Kevon Lambert coming back from the corner flag. He wants everybody in the box, all hands on deck.
Asante. Won by Ina Voltson. Amadou Dia nods it back in. Body's hitting the floor. Ina Voltson. Good defending from Evan Waldron. Come on, Lambert. Jason Johnson. Dia hoping for Frater. That was a good ball back across, but Cortez was trailing him from right behind. Darwin Jones. Good step from Luigi Mala. Johnson. Phoenix Rising fans, you can win 4 Phoenix Rising tickets just by watching Phoenix Rising on Yorview, Arizona. All you have to do is listen for the keyword and then enter it on social media, and you could win. Plus, all winners are entered to win the grand prize and all expenses paid trip to watch Phoenix Rising take on Las Vegas Lights FC on October 10th. Tonight's keyword, family. Solomon Asante sliding it through, rolls off of his line and claims it.
It's a good look by Solomon. First real connection we've seen by Cortez and Solomon tonight. They've had trouble getting on the same page. Andre Rawls once again stepping up into the unexploitable space that has been right at the top of the box. Orange County doing such a good job defensively, keeping Phoenix at bay.
Cortez over the top. Frater bringing it down. Come on, Frater, it's off the post.
What a ball by Chris Cortez. An even better touch off the upper thigh. Unleashes from about 16 yards out, but rings it off the woodwork. Oh, I thought it was in.
Johnson. Solomon Asante lets it fly off the backside of Hume. Coolly plays Darwin Jones, who's actually on his way out. It'll be Joe Amico coming on and replacing the speedster. That's exactly what Phoenix need. Simply can't afford to let Orange County knock it around 6 or 7 times. Frater. And now we'll have our substitution. It'll be the 23-year-old from Indianapolis, Joe Amico. Came up through the Sporting Kansas City Youth Academy and will replace Darwin Jones, who will make the most out of this opportunity to milk the clock. Substitute brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs.
Not the best performance we've seen from Darwin Jones so far since he's taken part of this resurgence of Orange County Soccer Club. Very quiet from the Chicago, Illinois native, but give up a lot on the wing. Did most of his job defensively. That's pretty much what you can say for everybody on Orange County tonight. It's been a collective effort start to finish so far.
Dia almost got caught with it. Mike DeFont wants an option. Nobody presenting themselves. Von Frater thought he was fouled by Alex Cronali. Kevin Alston taking his sweet time, and we'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time, and it will be a yellow card for Kevin Alston. A little bit lethargic from Phoenix at the moment. Down 2 goals, 5 minutes to play. Luigi Mala. Cortez, excellent move towards the byline, towards the back post. Not his best delivery.
No magic for Chris Cortez tonight. The talisman has been very quiet. You can't really call it rust because it's been amazing recently, but you can just see the craft that he's employed in the past not in full effect this evening.
Asante. losing a number of defenders on the way. Lambert. Frater, long for Vega. Shielded off the ball.
Good defending by Kevin Olsen. Unfortunately, the touch of Devin Vega fails him as it's a good ball in, but it's too far out in front of him. You get a seasoned veteran like Kevin Olsen step in. You and I had the ability to talk to Rick Shantz midweek, talking about Kevin Olsen and kind of going through a gray area. Obviously had a massive career at New England Revolution and continued on to Orange County. He was actually diagnosed with leukemia back in 2013. Rick Shantz saw him a few weeks ago before he was picked up by Orange County and said, hey, you want to get a look? I'll give you a shot. He was picked up days later. Braden Cloutier, rightfully so. He's an amazing outside back.
Lambert goes down, will play on. Vega for Frater. Along for Cortez. It was a terrific idea. Maybe a little bit too intuitive. And there is a look at Kevin Alston. He's diagnosed back in early April of 2013 with leukemia, the Indiana University product. And he was diagnosed with a hamstring injury a little bit before that kept him out of the lineup for the New England Revolutions. And he just sort of said, hamstring injury is one thing, cancer is life. But he did such an excellent job. Gives an enormous amount of credit to his doctors who helped him along the way with treatment, able to obviously get his way back out onto the field and continue his playing career. Just a magnificent story. Here's Asante, driving again. Asante himself, 4-3. Phoenix have life again. They need one more.
Evan Waldrop in the holding midfielder role finds Solomon on the outside, who has been challenging Noah Powder all night long. Gets in one-on-one, explosive first step, beats Rawls to the near post. Super Solomon strikes again. Hopefully it's not too little too late.
It's Asante's second goal of the game by way of Opta. They now are giving the second Phoenix goal to Devontae DeBose, who was about 93 and a half when Asante scored the goal, so you would think that there would be about 30 to 45 seconds added on for stoppage time. Frater able to bring it down. Over for Johnson. Can Phoenix complete it? Lambert keeps it in play. Great nutmeg, Lambert. Did it take a deflection? No, it did not. And a goal kick coming for Andre Rawls. And Orange County will milk this for what it's worth. Andre Rawls being told to get a move on by our head referee, Malik Badawi. How he hasn't been shown a yellow card is beyond me. Time running out on Phoenix, but that's gonna do it. Despite one of the more valiant attempts at an epic comeback this season, Phoenix Rising FC fall to Orange County by a score of 4-3. Michael Seaton with a brace. Aiden Quinn and Thomas Enevoldsen also providing goals. Enevoldsen now draws level with Cameron Lancaster in the Golden Boot race. Solomon Asante was magnificent in the comeback, providing 2 goals of his own, as well as Devontae DeBose. But Orange County come away with 3 points, and now are 3 points clear of Phoenix in the Western Conference table. The season series, even at 1-1-1 on the season. We're headed to the post-game show. Final score here from the complex. Orange County 4, Phoenix 3. We'll be back in a few moments.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry.
we'll
I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Phoenix Rising FC y Didier Drogba están subiendo la intensidad esta temporada. Únete a la acción en el Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex en Scottsdale y siente la gran emoción y habilidades del fútbol profesional. Disfruta la noche de cervezas a $1 y mira la batalla de Phoenix Rising contra San Antonio Football Club. Miércoles 22 de agosto a las 7 p.m. Obtén tus boletos en phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Full time here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. You can't say enough about the fighting spirit from Solomon Asante and the rest of the boys in red and black, but they fall short to Orange County, who are simply better than them tonight. A couple of controversial calls around the way, but you know, that sometimes happens in this sport. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr, referees are human beings too. And we'll take a look at how it all went down over the course of the 90 minutes, and it was Michael Seaton starting things off in the 39th with a curling effort that they don't get much better than.
Good stuff from Michael Seaton. We talked about it before, but maybe not the best of first touches against the run of play. Expect this to come back into possession-oriented, but he opens up an opportunity as Devontae DuBose has stepped out of position. Bala doesn't step in hard enough, and he goes the other direction, gets the opening going. So you wonder what's going to go on in the second half. What's the communication going to be like coming out? It is flat, it is quiet, it is faulted. Ina Voltson says thank you very much, 2-0 Orange County.
Ina Voltson with his 13th on the season. And now ties Cameron Lancaster for the USL Golden Boot race. Michael Seaton with the assist. He would have 2 goals and an assist. Here's the moment that changed everything. This is called a penalty. Seemed like a run-of-the-mill challenge on a corner kick. Aiden Quinn steps up, makes it 3-0. And then Phoenix, after this penalty, almost sort of give up and they concede this 4th goal, which would prove to be the game winner.
It's terrible because the response from the home squad is not what you want to see. Everybody puts their heads down and they quit. They quit for 5 minutes, and the 2 goals in 5 minutes may have cost them the game. Like you said, a lot of other variables came into play here. But there is a silver lining. You got an emotional response. You got an excellent physical performance. Unfortunately, you only got it from a few players. Defensively, they were still exposed. Now Orange County pulled the reins back a little bit. They weren't trying to attack as much. And Solomon Asante just decided, you know what? Anybody want to come along with me? I'm going to take this game over. Got a couple of touches here. Not really sure how they're going to credit this to DuBose. We'll figure that one out. Solomon Asante definitely gets in. He gets a touch. This should end up in the back of the net as his 2nd goal. We'll see how things turn out. But he just continued to go in one-on-one situations on the right-hand side of the pitch. Where was Devin Vega? Chris Cortez in and out of his performance. At the end of the day, Solomon Asante is going to walk into that locker room. He needs to be proud of his performance that he put on, but he needs more help.
Well, this would prove to be Solomon Asante's 2nd goal of the night. I have a feeling the league will go back and change the 2nd goal you saw from Phoenix to Asante's. If that is the case, that's his 10th goal of the season. And he tried to spark a Phoenix comeback that would have gone down for the ages, but such is life, sometimes they fall short by a goal. A look at the full-time stats, and Phoenix started to get a little bit better in terms of the shots that they put on target, but look at the efficiency from Orange County compared to Phoenix in that department.
There was a massive disconnection between the middle of the park and the boys up top, and whether it was Kavan Crater, Chris Cortez, Devin Vega, Jason Johnson, at no point in time were all of them interchanging in the run of play on a regular basis. Got to give credit defensively coming out of the back. Distribution was nice in the build-up, but once they hit the midfield area, a lot was going on for Orange County. Aiden Quinn and Christian Duke took this game over. They were really pulling the strings on a regular basis. We talked about tempo about halfway through the second half. That's exactly what continued throughout the rest of the second half, right around the 80-minute mark where Solomon Asante stepped in and got involved on a regular basis.
Well, Phoenix Rising committed a couple of sins tonight. just as far as committing penalties and maybe giving up for a few moments. And for those sins, they will head to Sin City to take on Las Vegas Lights FC, El Chilis, and the rest of that wild crew over in Nevada. August 18th, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time kickoff, as Phoenix will look to bounce back. On the other side, Orange County will also be taking Las Vegas Lights midweek on Wednesday, August 15th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. Well, it was a matchup between number 2 and 3 in the Western Conference standings. And what did you expect? It lived up to the billing. 7 goals, 4-3 in favor of Orange County. Michael Seaton with the brace, Solomon Asante quite possibly with the hat trick. It still remains to be seen. For our outstanding crew, my broadcast partner Devin Kerr and Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. Final score, Orange County 4, Phoenix 3. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.